Welcome back. Today is all about water demand. How much water do we need for drinking, cooking, cleaning, and everything else? Are you confused between water supply, demand, and consumption terms? If yes, then this lesson for you. So, why water demand matters? Imagine designing a water system without knowing how much water people actually need. Not a good idea, right? Water demand assessment help us design systems that meets everyone needs, ensuring a sustainable future. So be ready as we are about to unlock the secret of water demand and discover strategies for a sustainable future. Here is a roadmap of our exciting journey. We'll start with water demand concept. This part will tackle the difference between water demand, consumption, and supply. So from now, no more confusion. Then we will explore the different purpose water serves from household to agriculture. We will even uncover hidden water uses like fire protection and cooling machines. Now we'll discover various methods used to calculate water demand, focusing on the most common and effective one. Also, we will learn about water demand patterns and peak usage times. This part is crucial for designing efficient water supply systems. Let's turn to the value of every drop. We'll delve into water pricing and explore why paying for water is essential for a sustainable future. Last but not least, saving water means saving our future. In this part, we'll explore powerful strategies for reducing water demand and ensuring a secure water supply for generations to come. Imagine water as the fuel that keeps our lives running. Water demand is simply the amount of water needed for various activities, like drinking, cooking, cleaning, and even watering plants. Think of a city that never sleeps. Urban areas tend to have higher water demand because all of the businesses, apartments, and people using water constantly. Now picture a quiet village. Rural areas typically have lower water demand since there are fewer people and less industry. High water demand situations can occur in places like hotels, laundromats, where a large amount of water are used frequently. On the other hand, people living in conflict-affected area might have urgent water needs for basic survival, like drinking and sanitation. Let's further illustrate the differences between water demand and consumption. Imagine planning a party. Water demand is like the planning stage, meaning the total amount of water you estimate you will need for everyone. While water consumption zooms in the actual usage. It's like how much water gets actually used. Now, do you know the differences between water demand and consumption? In simple terms, water demand is the total amount of water we think we will need, while water consumption is the amount of water we actually use. Understanding both demand and consumption is crucial for managing water demand and our water resources effectively. Imagine a community living in a busy city. Water demand is like the total amount of water everyone in the city needs for their daily life, while water supply is like the amount of water that actually reaches the city through pipes and well. Water supply needs to keep up to meet everyone's needs, but sometimes there can be leaks in the pipes or losses. So here is the key. Water supply needs to be enough to cover both the demand and any losses that occur along the way. That way, everyone in the community gets the water they need. Water is used for so many things. Let's explore the main types of water demand. Firstly, domestic use. Here I mean water usage at our houses. In some cases, we can call it household demand. Secondly, we can have industries water use. I think we can easily imagine that industries also are thirsty and need water for various things. Besides, water can be used for commercial purposes as well. In domestic use, this is the water we use at home for everything from drinking and cooking to cleaning and gardening. Cooking, for instance, consumes a lot of water from food preparation to washing dishes, so we have to consider all amount of water needed to estimate our demand properly. Remember, if you drink tea so much, it means that you are putting pressure on your water treatment plant. Indeed, industries need water for processing, manufacturing, power generation, and resource extraction. Here, when I said resource extraction, I mean using water in mining activities, which require massive amount of water. Imagine a factory cleaning their machinery parts or using water to cool down machinery. It makes sense, I guess. Also, imagine how can we do our work if offices do not have water or big shopping malls do not secure water for bathing. It will be annoying. So commercial use means water use in offices, restaurants, markets, stores, and shopping malls. Now, let's look on this example of a big company uses water for cleaning. So as engineer or water implementer, we should consider all these needs if you want to design centralized water supply system like water treatment plant. Wait, there is even more. Here are some additional ways water is used. Agricultural use. This is the big one. Also, institutional use. This water used in school and governmental building as well. In urban setting, water can be used for entertainment such as swimming. This is called recreational water use. In agricultural use, water can be used for crop production and irrigation, but not limited to that. It can be used for livestock watering and crop processing. Imagine a farmer watering their fields. While in institutional use, it means water used in school, hospital, and governmental building. This water used for various needs like toilet cleaning and landscaping. Let us think beyond the drinking. Water is used for fun as well. In places like swimming pools, decorative fountains, and even man-made ponds and parks, all this can be called recreational water use. Water can be something surprising uses that might not come to mind right away. For example, fire protection demand. Water is a firefighter best friend. In some countries, water demand calculation include the amount needed for strategically placing fire hydrants on streets. This ensures enough water is available to fight emergencies. Also, non-consumptive demand. This might sound strange, but water can be used without being used up. For example, water is something used to cool down machinery like generators. The water itself isn't consumed, but it plays a vital role. Remember, understanding these different types of water demand is crucial for designing efficient water supply system. Water plays a surprising role in emergencies. It shows how strategically placed fire hydrants ensure there is enough water to fight fires and save lives. Water can also be a cooling hero. Water indeed can be used to cool down generators without being consumed itself. This keeps the generators running smoothly and prevent damage. Water journey can be fascinating. Let's explore two ways we can categorize water demand, direct and indirect demand. Indirect demand, for example, we use water straight from tap to or sources. Think of our friend here drinking water directly. Indirect demand, this refers to water used hidden within product. For example, imagine a delicious apple juice. Making that juice takes a lot of water, even though we don't directly drink the water when we drink the juice. Imagine planning a party for your entire neighborhood. You need to know how much food and drinks to prepare. So water demand assessment is similar. It's figuring out how much water a community needs. Here's a simple trick. Track your daily water use. For a day, monitor how much water you use for drinking, cooking, bathing, and other activities. Think how many glasses of water do you drink? How many buckets for a shower? Multiply by the community. Once you have an idea of your personal water consumption, imagine everyone in community using a similar amount. Factor in the future. As an engineers, we need to plan ahead. So we use population growth predictions to estimate how many people will be in a community in the future, like 20 or 30 years. So this is the formula. Water demand equal water consumption per person per day times future population. This is a simplified method, but it gives us a good starting point. There are so many ways to assess water demand, which we'll explore later. Population isn't always the only answer. For agriculture project, we can estimate water demand in a different way. Imagine a massive farm. Instead of counting every plant, we can estimate how much water 1 hectare typically needs. This is called area unit approach. Experts can provide data on average water consumption per unit area for different crops. This helps us estimate the total water demand for the entire agriculture project. So, the area unit approach is a great tool for agricultural water demand assessment. Predicting population growth isn't magic, but is a crucial part of water demand assessment. Here are two main patterns we consider: steady steps or linear growth. Let's imagine a village that has a stable population growth. Linear growth is like a straight line on a graph. The population increases at a consistent rate year after year, like adding one brick at a time to a wall. Boom time is called exponential growth. Imagine a busy city experiencing a population boom. Exponential growth is a curved line that shoots upward. The population increases faster and faster over time, like a snowball rolling downhill and getting bigger. So why this pattern matter? Knowing the pattern helps us and predict how much the population will grow in the future, say 20 or 30 years. Linear growth is like in stable communities. Exponential growth might occur in cities with high birth rate or immigration. Remember, accurate population predictions are essential for designing water supply systems that can meet everyone's needs for years to come. Remember that math class where you learned about equations? Linear growth and population prediction can be tackled with a bit of math magic. Imagine a small, peaceful village with a steady population. Linear growth describes this scenario where the population increases at a constant rate over time. So here is the equation behind the magic. We can use a simple equation, like the one you might remember from school, to estimate future population in stable communities. The formula said to us, population at time t equal population now plus growth rate times time t. The good news is you don't have to be a math expert. Government agencies track population data and can provide the growth rate for your specific community. So with this information, you can estimate the future population for stable areas with linear growth. Now, I believe things are beginning to get interesting. Linear growth is for steady communities. But what about places with a population boom? Exponential growth takes center stage. Imagine a busy city experiencing a rapid increase in population. Unlike linear growth, the population increases at an accelerating rate. The equation behind the boom, exponential growth, uses a different equations to predict future population in these dynamic areas. The formula as follows: population at time t equal initial population times 1 plus growth rate to the power time. Exponential growth can be a bit trickier than linear growth, but it's crucial for understanding how populations in booming areas might change. By understanding these growth patterns and using the right math, we can make more accurate predictions for future water needs. So far, we have explored some methods for water demand assessment, but there is a full of options available for you. Let's see this. Statistical method. This method uses historical data on water use and population growth to predict future demand. Another method is water balance method. In this method, tracks all the water entering and leaving a system to understand overall demand. It basically used mostly in planning phases. In demand forecasting method, it uses advanced tool and data analysis technique to predict future water needs with greater accuracy. While bottom-up survey method involves talking directly to people in a community to understand their water usage habits. It's like gathering data from the ground by interviewing people within targeted communities. Geographic information system and specialized software can be used also to analyze data and create maps that show water demand patterns across a region. Okay, we have seen some cool tools, but there is more to explore. Metering and monitoring masters. Installing water meters allow us to monitor actual water use in different parts of the system. It's all about gathering real-time data to understand water usage patterns. Also, socioeconomic indicators can be obtained from government surveys, which all about population, income levels, and lifestyle, can also be valuable clues about water demand. Scenario analysis in this method involve creating different what-if scenarios, like a population increase or climate change, to see how water demand might be affected. Also, expert and Delphi method, it means consulting with experienced water professionals and using technique like the Delphi, which means gathering expert opinion without knowing individual names. This can be and provide valuable insight into water demand assessment. Another method is a water audit, which is a comprehensive examination of a water system to identify areas where water is being wasted. With all these tools in our water demand detective kit, we can become water demand assessment superstars. So these methods can be used individually or combined depending on the specific situation and resources available. Imagine a river. The flow of water demand isn't always constant. It can be high or low depending on several factors. So let's explore these patterns. Water demand patterns are observed change in how much water is used by different sectors over time. Think of it like traffic flow. Sometimes there are rush hours and we can call it high demand. Sometimes it's calm and we can call it low demand. Peak demand is the maximum amount of water needed during a specific period. Imagine everyone getting ready for work or school in the morning. That's a peak demand time. So peak hourly demand is the highest water use within a single hour. Think of 7 a.m. when everyone is taking showers and making coffee. And peak daily demand is the highest water uses within 24 hours period. It's like Saturday might be peak daily demand because more people are at home using water throughout the day. So why peak demand is matter? When designing a water treatment plant, we need to consider both peak hour and peak day demand. Let's explore peak factor. Peak factor is a handy way to express how much highest peak demand is compared to average demand. It's basically a ratio. Peak factor equal maximum water use at peak over average water demand. So why is peak factor important? It helps us understand the variability of water demand. A high peak demand and a high peak factor indicate significant fluctuations in water use throughout the day or week. So by understanding water demand pattern and peak factor, we can design efficient and reliable water systems. Water is a valuable resource, but have you ever questioned why your water bill might seem frustratingly high? Water pricing plays a crucial role in ensuring sustainable water supply. Let's explore why. Reflecting scarcity. Water pricing reflects this scarcity, reminding us the importance of using water wisely. Also, supporting water agencies, water treatment plant, pipes, and maintenance all cost money. So, fair water pricing helps water agencies recover these costs and keep the water flowing for everyone. Governments play a big role, but water pricing can also help share the responsibility. Flat rate. This is like a flat monthly fee, regardless of how much water you use. Think of it like a Netflix subscription. You pay the same whether you watch all month or not. Full cost pricing. The aim is to recover all the costs associated with water supply, from treatment to infrastructure. Imagine paying exactly what it costs to deliver water to your home. Seasonal rates. Price might be higher during dry season to encourage conservation. Think of it like adjusting electricity prices during peak hours to manage demand. Block rate. This system charges user by levels. The first block, basic usage, might have a lower rate, while exceeding the amount could lead to higher charges, like a phone plan with unlimited basic minutes and an extra charge for going over. Time of use rates. This charge user based on when they use water. Peak hours, when everyone is using water, might cost more, while off-peak hours are cheaper. Think of it like paying less for electricity at night when demand is lower. Water pricing can be complex, but understanding these different types help us appreciate the value of water and use it more responsibly. Every drop counts. Thankfully, there are many ways to reduce water demand and ensure sustainable water future. Let's explore some key strategies. Raising public awareness. The more people who know, the more likely they are to save water. Social norm and pressure. Promoting water-saving habits as a social norm, like turning off the tap while brushing teeth, can encourage everyone to participate. Incentives and rewards. Offering allowance for water-efficient users can spark positive change. Partnerships and collaborations, working together, is a key. Water agencies, governments, and communities can all join forces to create effective water demand reduction programs. We have seen some great starting points, But here are more ways to encourage water conservation. Education programs. Knowledge is power. Teaching people of all ages about water scarcity and conservation method can empower them to make informed choices. Community-based approach, which I mean working directly with communities to identify their water challenge and develop solutions together, fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility. Gamification and challenge. Creating games or challenges around water conservation can encourage people to learn new water-saving habits. Advanced technology, I mean here smart meters, leak detection system, all play a role in reducing water demand. So understanding these water demand reduction strategies empower us to navigate the challenges of water management. By implementing a combination of these approaches, we can create a more sustainable water future for everyone. Imagine a world where saving water is easier than ever. Technology. Technology is playing a growing role in water demand reduction. Let's look at some cool tools. Automated water tap. Ever visited a fancy airport bathroom and seen tap that turns on and off automatically? These taps use sensors to reduce water waste caused by frequent opening and closing. Automated irrigation sprinkles. The traditional irrigation system can waste a lot of water by watering sidewalks during the heat of the day, when most of the water evaporates. Smart irrigation system use sensors to water exactly when they need it, not a drop more. By embracing these water-saving technologies, we can ensure that future generations inherit a healthy planet with access to these valuable resources. Remember, even small changes can make a big difference. Let's all use technology to help us conserve this dynamic resource. Imagine a house. How much water do you think people use each day? It depends on the setup. Here's a look at different situations. Direct connection. Homes with private taps and toilets might use 70 to 250 liters per day per person. Think of a comfortable family home with showers, laundry machines, and dishwashers. Public taps. In some communities, people share communal taps. Here, water can use lower, ranging from 20 to 80 liters per person per day. Imagine using a shared well or standpipe, carefully collecting water for essential needs. Rural setting. Homes in rural areas might use 15 up to 80 liters per person per day. Water access can vary, so people might use it more economically. Imagine a village where water comes from a pump or well, and every drop is valuable. Emergency situation. In emergencies, water access can be scarce. The minimum amount of a person needs to survive is around 7.5 liters per day. Imagine a disaster situation where every drop counts for drinking and basic hygiene. Regarding institutional water demand data, I would like to say different places use water in various ways. Here is a clue of how much water some institutions might use per person daily. Schools and libraries. Classrooms and libraries, water can use 15 up to 30 liters per person per day for drinking, washing hands, and basic cleaning. Regarding places of worships like religion, mosques, or churches and other religious centers might use 25 to 40 liters per person per day. This could include water for washing, cleaning, and other rituals. In hospitals, I think hospitals require a lot of water, with hygiene being top priority. Water use can range from 220 up to 300 liters per person per day for patient care, sanitation, and laundry. Government office, water use might reach 20 to 80 liters per person per day, depending on the number of people and activities like restaurant or restroom and cleaning. Commercial demand. Imagine a busy city. Shops, office, and restaurants all need water. Here is a look at how much water some commercial spaces might use per day. Hotels uses 80 to 180 liters per person per day for laundry, guest needs, and maintenance facilities. Offices and companies might use 80 to 100 liters per person per day for restroom, cleaning, and basic needs. Stores, imagine shops of all kinds. They can use 80 to 300 liters per person per day, depending on the type of store, of course. Also, restaurants can reach 80 to 300 liters per person per day for cooking, dishwashing, and cleaning. Remember, all these just estimate. The actual water use can depend on factors like climate, lifestyle, sizes of the surface, and access to water system. Let's all save these valuable resources. See you next time.